Morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a reservoir for sub-irrigation. This is in a greenhouse, so the idea is to add a little bit of water down in the root zone of the plants, create a subfloor in here so there's a bit of aeration, and using capillary wicking to actually wick that residual moisture into the surrounding beds as well. So the idea of this isn't that you're growing plants in waterlogged soil, you're just supplementing the watering, so you can water via this cut down PET bottle, which is a funnel that goes through an HDPE elbow down into this reservoir. So that's made from a 25 litre cut down jerry can. We've got drinks cans here, holes punched in the sides, so when they're in here the air and water is free to flow into those cans, so you don't have sort of air gaps in here. This is a reclaimed piece of acrylic sheet, and this has just been laser cut. It's got numbers of holes in here, a large hole in the centre, and the hole in the centre corresponds with this wicking tube which goes down into this reservoir. So to make the wicking tube, we're just using some old capillary matting and pieces of corrugated cardboard. So I'll just sandwich those together and I'll just roll these up. The depth of the can, cardboard's cut roughly to the depth of the can, the capillary matting's a little bit longer, so they can go through into the substrate and the plants are above. So I'll just loosely roll this round. The cardboard will break down over time, but there'll be a lot of worms in here. They'll actually consume the cardboard, and it just maintains a little bit of space around that for the capillary matting to fit into that tube in the centre. The tube in the centre is just a cut down PET water bottle, so hopefully might have to do that slightly tighter so it fits in. So it fits down into the bottle, and that enables the capillary matting to drop right down into the full depth of that reservoir. So that fits in there and it just nestles amongst the container. If you've got an excess of cardboard, what you can also do, if you just roll those into little tubes, and you can just cluster those in there, and that cardboard will also make a little wick, so it helps to circulate the water from the bottom of the reservoir. So I'll just do this. I'll do a few of those. If you've got a bit more time, you might want to fill in these as much as possible, just so it keeps all the cans sort of tight together in the container. So I'll just fold that one back on itself, it's a bit long. Tuck that one down into that container here. This subfloor, what you can do, if you've got any old cotton pillowcases, bed sheets, even cotton t-shirts, you can just slip the t-shirt over it and then drop that down, and then when the t-shirt lifts down into the water, that will help to pull up, to drop that water with sort of capillary action as well. But these capillary matting on its own is sufficient. So that's just basically like a candle wick, so it pops up through there. When that's saturated with the water, capillary action will take this up into the substrate in the container above. The container above is just another cut down 25 litre jerry can. You can see it's still got the handle on it on there. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put a layer of cardboard over the top of this, and then some worm castings down there, and some charcoal as well. Charcoal, what happens when you're watering these plants, you can water it from above or you can water it from below, but if you get any excess nitrates that wash through the soil, they'll get carried down into here, and then the worms will be active in that layer of part composted material, and they'll work that back up into the container. So I've got capillary fabric around here, and the idea of that, because this is in a greenhouse, obviously it doesn't get any rainfall, so I've got the capillary wicks there that will wick moisture into the surrounding bed, and if there's any basil or plants around there, they'll have a little bit of supplemental watering. But the idea of this, it just gives you a couple of days worth of watering, so the plant isn't actually growing in waterlogged conditions. It circulates that water, and then you're ideally topping this up with rainwater. So that's the planter here. This is just basically a big plant pot, but it's got holes in the sides to allow roots to grow through, to allow worms to go through, and allow transfer of moisture as well. So it's just a reclaimed container as a big planter, so that will go on top, and I'll infill this with layers of cardboard, stop all the substrate from going through, a layer of biochar and part composted material. And I'll do another video just when this is topped up, ready to go. Thank you.